Hey guys, I'm Jillian Moreno. I'm one of the community educators over at the Rape Crisis Center of Milford. My role as a community educator is I provide sexual prevention education to students pre-K through 12th grade. Depending on what their grade is, we'll determine what topic we talk about. Since you guys are in 7th grade, we're going to talk about sexual harassment. So today you guys are going to learn about what sexual harassment is, the different forms that someone could be sexually harassed, what you guys can do about sexual harassment if it were to happen to you or someone that you know. At the Rape Crisis Center, we have a 24-hour, 7-day-week hotline. This is a crisis hotline for someone who has experienced sexual violence, whether past or present. They are able to call that number and seek services from us. This is also a number for someone who is considered a secondary victim, somebody who supports a victim of sexual assault. So whether it is a family member or a friend, they are also able to call that number and get services from us. We have 10 employees and 35 volunteers that work with the Rape Crisis Center. Every employee and volunteer is a certified advocate through the state of Connecticut. So we are able to accompany victims of sexual violence to the police station, hospital, or court, depending on what their needs are. When it comes to a victim going to the police station, police will automatically call over to their local crisis center and have an advocate present before they interview a victim of sexual violence. It's the same thing when it comes to a hospital. If a victim were to go to the hospital to have an evidence collection kit done, they would also call over to their local crisis center to have an advocate present. When it comes to court, our role is to be there to help navigate the court system and what is going on, since most victims have never gone through a court proceeding, so that they know what's going on and we keep them in the loop and make sure they know everything that's happening. We could also help with getting restraining orders if the victim needs it, or if they just have questions about how their case is going. We do provide short-term counseling at the center for both victims and secondary victims. All of our services are completely free. We do not charge anybody, whether they're a victim or a secondary victim as well. We are also confidential counselors. So anything that is ever said to us stays between us and our clients. The only time we break confidentiality is if somebody were to disclose harm to themselves or harm to another person. This also includes if you were to reach out to me during this presentation or even after it, anything that you talk with me about will stay between you and I. I do not have to let the school know what you and I were talking about. The cute puppy you see on the slide is also Lily. Lily is our certified therapy dog. We are the only center out of the 9 crisis centers that are in Connecticut that has a certified therapy dog. So Lily is there to provide an extra layer of support when we're working with victims, no matter where we are, whether we are at schools, we're at hospitals, police stations, or even at court. Lily is able to be there to be an extra support person for our victims. Self-care is extremely important to us at the Rape Crisis Center of Milford. If you need to stop this presentation at any point due to what we are talking about, you are able to. We're going to be talking about what sexual assault is, what the laws are surrounding sexual assault, what perpetuates rape culture, and what consent is. So if any of these topics are something that you're not sure you're able to do, please take this moment to write down that phone number that's below, the 203-878-1212 phone number. That's the hotline number that you can always call at any moment during the day to reach someone at the Rape Crisis Center. There's also my email address right below it. You can also email me during this presentation or even after it if you need to talk to me or you want to talk to any of the advocates at our center. All right, let's do a little true or false around sexual harassment. So I am going to ask you guys a question. Once you answer it, click the screen to find out if you got the answer right. If a student is being sexually harassed at school, there needs to be a witness for it to be investigated. False. All right, next question. If a person has accepted the sexual attention from someone in the past, they can complain about sexual harassment by that person in the future. Also, false. Sexual harassment has to be between people of different sexes. False. If a person is only joking and does not intend to harm or distress another person, it can't be called sexual harassment. This one is also false. More true or false questions around sexual harassment. So just like before, I'll read you guys the question, you answer, and then click the screen. Sexually explicit jokes can be sexual harassment. True. Sexualized hand gestures are not sexual harassment. You have to actually touch or say something to another person. This is going to be false. Calling someone gay, queer, fag are forms of sexual harassment. True. Spreading rumors that are in the sexual nature about someone is sexual harassment. This is also true. So let's move on to the next slide so you guys can learn more about sexual harassment. Let's talk about the difference between flirting and sexual harassment. So it's important that you guys understand that there is a difference between when someone's flirting with somebody and when someone is sexually harassing another person. So we want you to think about flirting. What comes to mind when somebody is flirting another person? Is this a one-sided interaction, a two-sided interaction? How does it happen? So when somebody is flirting with another person, this is a two-sided interaction. Both parties feel comfortable with what's happening. Even if someone's flirting with another person and that person isn't interested, it's still a two-sided interaction. Both people participate in the conversation that's happening. Nobody's feeling uncomfortable or feel like someone's infringing on their personal space, their personal boundaries. So now think about sexual harassment. When someone says that they've been sexually harassed, or if you've seen sexual harassment, what comes to mind? So sexual harassment is going to be a one-sided interaction. It's when one person feels that they are being uncomfortable with what's being said or done in their presence. So click the next screen so that you guys can figure out more about what is considered sexual harassment. When does flirting become sexual harassment? If the person is clearly uncomfortable with your comments or actions that you are making towards them, that crossed that line. That's no longer flirting with that person. You know, one of the big things to think about is what you're about to say to someone, if that were said to you, how are you going to feel? Would this make you feel uncomfortable? If it would, if you're not sure about it, it could cross that line. It's probably something you shouldn't say to that person. If somebody has made it clear to you that they're not interested in you or that they just want to be friends with you and you continue to pursue them, you're continuing to flirt with them, that could make them feel uncomfortable. That then is crossing that line into sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is any time someone experiences any unwanted, unwelcome attention, and it's done in a sexual nature. This is infringing on someone's personal space, their personal boundaries that they have set with another person. When it comes to sexual harassment, it does not matter your gender. We know that males can sexually harass females, females sexually harass males, females can also sexually harass other females, and males can sexually harass other males. Sexual harassment can be done by a single person or a group of people. There are 4 ways that a person can be sexually harassed: verbal, nonverbal, written, and physical sexual harassment. So now I want to break it down for you guys on what each term means when it comes to sexual harassment. Verbal sexual harassment. This is making another person feel uncomfortable with what you are saying directly to them, about them, or in their presence. When you make comments about the way that somebody's dressed, how their body looks in clothing, when you make comments about the way somebody's body is developing or hasn't developed, or forms of verbal sexual harassment, asking questions about someone's sexual experience, what they've done with another person. If you are spreading rumors about somebody or another person who's in a relationship, what they've done together, what they've done sexually in their relationship are forms of verbal sexual harassment. Also, calling somebody names that are sexual nature. So calling someone gay, queer, fag, those are all forms of sexual harassment as well. Nonverbal sexual harassment is making another person feel uncomfortable without words or physical contact, but with actions that are done in the sexual nature. So blocking somebody's path when they're trying to get by can be considered that nonverbal sexual harassment. Making sexualized hand gestures or even body gestures towards another person. Staring at somebody's body in a way that's extremely obvious, but you're also staring at like their intimate parts of their body, their private parts of their body, which makes them feel uncomfortable. Passing around inappropriate pictures also can be considered nonverbal sexual harassment. So I'm not just talking about spreading pictures around nude pictures or that sexting part. This is also memes that you could have found online that are in a sexual nature. Those are all forms of nonverbal sexual harassment. Written sexual harassment is making someone feel uncomfortable with what is being written or posted about them. So when it comes to written sexual harassment, this is what you could write to somebody, whether it is online, it's a text message, a direct message, a comment you may make on somebody's post. Those are forms of written sexual harassment. So if you are asking somebody what they've done sexually, you're calling somebody sexualized names online. So the same as that verbal part of sexual harassment, but you're doing it written, whether it's typed or you're writing it down. That's what falls under written sexual harassment. This is also if you're writing jokes around the sexual nature. Those can all be considered written sexual harassment. Physical sexual harassment is making someone feel uncomfortable by putting your hands on them. This also has nothing to do with touching somebody's private parts of their body. Most of the time when I ask kids what physical sexual harassment means, it means most kids will tell me that it means that you have touched somebody's private parts of their body. That is not a form of sexual harassment, and we'll talk about that in a second. Physical sexual harassment is putting your arm around somebody, whether it's around their shoulder, around their waist, if you're trying to pull someone closer to you. Pulling on somebody's clothing is a form of physical sexual harassment. Hugging or trying to kiss somebody when they don't want to, and they're clearly showing you that they are uncomfortable with this. Physical sexual harassment only has to happen once in order for it to be considered sexual harassment. The verbal, nonverbal, and written have to happen more than one time for it to be considered sexual harassment. But when it comes to reporting this to your school, reporting it to somebody like myself, a victim advocate, a community educator, you don't have to have any of these happen more than once. If it happened once and you felt uncomfortable with it and you felt that you needed to tell someone, you should. You don't need to wait for it to happen again. Touching somebody's intimate parts of their body is not sexual harassment. Your intimate parts of your body are your breast, your genital area, your butt, your inner thigh. If someone were to touch these parts of your body, whether it's above or underneath your clothing, that's not sexual harassment. That is actually a sexual assault. All right, I'm going to read you guys some scenarios, and I want you to figure out whether or not it's flirting or sexual harassment. I'll read the scenario. You answer it. Click the screen to see whether or not you got it correct. Sam goes up to Chris in the hallway before the end of school. Sam says that Chris is hot, smart, and funny, and then asks Chris out on a date. Chris has known for a while that Sam is into Chris, but Chris does not want to date Sam. Chris thanks Sam for the compliments, but does not want to date and just wants to be friends. Sam was upset, but respects Chris's decision. This is flirting. Definitely a two-sided interaction. Both people were participating in the conversation, and they seem to feel comfortable with what is being said and done.
But also, when Chris made the decision that Chris wants to be friends, Sam respected that. Sam did not continue to pursue Chris, which keeps it at flirting. Flirting or sexual harassment. Jesse asked Shane to the movies on Friday. Jesse let Shane know that this Friday won't work, but maybe another time. The next week, Jesse asked Shane to the movies again. Shane said no and was not interested in Jesse like that. Jesse thinks Shane is playing hard to get and then gets Shane's phone number from a friend. Jesse messages Shane asking to hang out. Shane informs Jesse again no and was not interested in dating Jesse. Jesse then calls Shane gay and continues saying inappropriate things. This is sexual harassment. When Jesse asked Shane out the first time and Shane said, not this time, that's flirting. Even when Jesse asked Shane out again, that was still flirting because Jesse said last time, maybe another time. But when Shane said, no, I'm not interested, and then Jesse went and got Shane's phone number from somebody and messaged Shane and asked again, that crossed that line to sexual harassment. But it also continues into sexual harassment when Jesse is calling Shane gay and saying inappropriate things. Those cross that line into sexual harassment. So it started off with flirting and then switched to sexual harassment when Jesse was no longer respecting Shane. Flirting or sexual harassment. Danny and Riley have been dating for 18 months and have been intimate. Danny was going away with friends and asked Riley to send nude pictures while away. Riley said no, and Danny said fine, but the following day asked Riley again for nude pictures. Riley once again said no and to stop. Danny then stopped messaging Riley that night, but the next day messaged Riley asking for nude pictures or they break up. This is again sexual harassment. When Danny asks for inappropriate pictures, that starts that crossing that line into sexual harassment. But when Riley is saying no multiple times and to stop, and Danny continues to ask, that is a clear line of sexual harassment. Also, when someone asks you for nude pictures and tells you if you don't do this, or if you don't do it, they're going to break up with you, that's never okay. If you make a choice to do something, you should make that choice because it's something you want to, not because someone is threatening you to do something. That's not the type of person you would want in your life. So to show you.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Adam.
And I'm Stephanie.
And today we're going to be doing the sexual harassment experiment.
I will be sexually harassing Adam in public.
And I'm going to be sexually harassing Stephanie in public. We're going to see how people react when I harass her and she harasses me. It's kind of awkward, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
All right, let's do this.
Can you get away from me, please? I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing with you,
please. Why would you not?
I don't want to do nothing with you, please. Can you get off me? Look, I don't care if you're pretty. Excuse me. Can you tell me? I don't care if you're pretty. Get off me.
I'm here.
I don't want to do nothing with you. What happened?
She's good. Come on.
She's a what?
Don't do that. She's good.
What did I do?
She's good.
She's good.
You see him? You see what he's saying?
What is he saying?
Come on.
What do you want me to do? Oh, she's touching me. She's harassing me.
He doesn't want to kiss me. That's all. Would you kiss me? You'd kiss me, right?
Oh my God! Get off me, you. What's wrong with you?
Please.
Get off me. This girl is crazy. I don't want to kiss you.
Please.
Oh my God, sir. Can you tell her to get off? Can you tell her to get off me? Can you tell her to get off?
Sit down.
I don't want to do nothing. I don't know you. Why are you touching me? You're harassing me.
Sit down.
She's
One
harassing.
kiss. One.
What do you mean want to kiss? I don't know you.
Stop walking away from me.
Can you please tell us something? I don't want to do nothing with you. Get off me.
Let's go.
I don't want to do nothing with you. I have a girl. I respect myself. I don't want to do nothing. Get off me.
With me. Come on.
Can you stop touching me, please?
No, let's go.
Do you know who she is?
Let's go.
Can you tell her stop touching me? Because she keeps touching me.
She's very pretty. Thank you. Come on.
Just because she's pretty, I'm not going to go there. Get off me. I don't know who you are.
Let's go.
Go to another guy. Don't go to me. Can you stop touching me, please? Can you stop touching me? Excuse me. Can I tell her stop touching me?
Just kiss me.
Stop. I'm not going to kiss you, girl. Get off me. Get off me. Can you get off me, please?
You're making a scene right now.
Can you get off me, please?
You're making a scene.
Can I tell her to get off? You're not gonna say that?
Let's go. Sorry, guys.
I'm not making a scene. You're you're sexual harassing me.
Let's go.
Can you stop touching me? You're pretty. Look, you're pretty. You're pretty. Write your number down. You're pretty. She's pretty. I want a number. Let me get your number. What's wrong? Why?
Back off.
Give me a number.
Back off.
I just want a number. Baby, come on.
Your ass off.
I like her.
I don't care. You need
I
to
just
back
want a
off.
number. Come on.
You need to back off.
Why?
Because she doesn't want to give you your number. You need to back off.
What's wrong with you? What's
Go
wrong
home.
with you?
Go home.
Listen,
You're done.
I just want to get a number, man. She was just harassing me earlier. She was.
She's not there.
I just want to tell you I want to hug you. Come on. Let me tell you something. I'm not touching you. I just want to tell you something.
Are you kidding me?
Come on, give me a kiss.
No,
Just give me a kiss. What's wrong with you? Let me get a kiss.
Bothering you?
Let me get a kiss. What's wrong? I can't get a kiss.
You okay? Yo, just step off.
I can't step up.
Nah, chill.
What's wrong? Let me get a kiss.
She's okay. She's okay. Leave her alone.
But she told me earlier she wants a kiss.
She can change her mind if she did say that. Okay.
What the heck? Let me smell your hair. Let me smell
Do
your
you
hair.
think that's okay?
I'm just sniffing you. Just film.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, bro. I just follow on Instagram, man. Come here. Bro, what's wrong with you? She's touching me. I want her. You want? Come on, let's do something. What am I doing? What am I wanting now? Let me do something. Come back, baby, come over. We'll go on another date. Come on. Come on. She was touching me. She was harassing me, bro.
You know it's a double standard in here, bro. It's always a double standard.
Nah. Why you holding me back, huh? Why you holding me back? She was touching me.
She don't want to touch you.
Oh, get off me.
Come on, bro.
What's up? Come on. Yeah, but she was touching me. She was harassing me. Did you see her? We're just shooting a YouTube video. Nothing. Yeah, I did nothing. We're doing like she was harassing me. Nobody did nothing. When I harassed her, everybody came.
No, I see you over there before.
Yeah. No, we didn't do nothing. I'm sorry.
Sure, you got like 20 people run up to the car.
Oh my God, I didn't even know. Sorry about that. What do you know how to cook?
How does it look when someone's being sexually harassed? So in the video, you saw the male being sexually harassed by the female. So this is how people react. Some of the things that were said: she's so pretty, she's a girl, come on, don't be like that. He was laughed at, made fun of, asking, why wouldn't you want to kiss her? Why wouldn't you want to be with her? People just looked. They said nothing. There was no response from people. But when you look at when the female's being sexually harassed, though it's the same actions, people had a strong reaction. And some of the people were the same people from when she was sexually harassing him and when he was sexually harassing her. So people stepped in. They yelled at him, said, don't grab her, don't be like that. They told him to back up. People were intervening, moving her out of the way and getting in between them. People actually called the cops and stepped up to the guy who was sexually harassing the girl. So society reacts strongly when we see a female being sexually harassed, that we need to come to her defense and defend her. But if a girl's sexually harassing a guy, we don't say anything. We don't think much of it. We just kind of act like, it's not a big deal. But in reality, it is a big deal. It's never okay for anyone to be made to feel uncomfortable with whatever's being done or said to them. Whether you're a male or a female, you should be able to feel comfortable with the people around you. Or if someone is making you feel uncomfortable, be able to say something or have somebody stand up for you. Someone who is being sexually harassed can feel a lot of different things. They may feel scared to go to school, especially if this is something happening in school, whether it's by a single person or a group of people. That fear of what's going to happen today. Is this something that could get worse? Are they going to cross a different line today? That fear, is anyone going to stand up for me? Is anyone going to help me? They also could feel powerless, that they have no control, that they don't have anyone who can help them, even if they said something, because people see it and do nothing. People could also have issues sleeping because they have so much anxiety because of what is happening to them. They can go through depression because of what's going on. Because we know when someone's being sexually harassed, they can go through so many different feelings. It's important that you know what to do if you feel that you are being sexually harassed, or anything that you can tell a friend who could be going through this. Let them know not to blame themselves. They are not at fault for what is happening to them. Make sure we're saying no clearly to that person so they know we don't want them to ask us these questions. We don't want this kind of attention that they're giving us. So we're setting that clear boundary with the person. Also, reporting sexual harassment to a trusted adult, whether it's someone at your school, it's your parents, it's somebody like myself. Let someone know this is happening. If your friend comes to you and tells you they are being sexually harassed, you also can report it. Don't just be there for them and tell them it's okay, or that, it'll get better. Listen to them. Let them know that this is not okay what's happening to them. Make sure they're not blaming themselves, but also let them know we have to let someone know what's going on. And if they don't want to let someone know, you can let someone know. Be that upstander. Be a good friend, and make sure your friends have somewhere safe to go. You can always write down what is happening to you, so you always remember what it is for when you do bring it to an adult to let them know what's going on. The big thing I want to stress to you guys is let somebody know. You don't ever have to feel like you're going through this by yourself. We are here to help you, but sometimes we don't see what's going on. So the only way we can help is if somebody does let us know what's happening. All right.
I'm not totally sure why a lot of times girls would want to send pictures like that or send that kind of text.
Why do I think people send nudes?
To showboat. Sometimes people do it because they want to. Sometimes people don't want to do it and they feel like they've been pressured into it.
If their friends are doing it and their friends are like telling them they should do it, they can just send the picture.
Most guys don't think about the consequences that girls have.
Sometimes you send that picture because you want someone to tell you that you're beautiful. And that's another form of obligation.
Once you do anything online, it doesn't go away. So if you send a picture like that, it's not going to go away.
So if you send to somebody a nude photo of you and then they don't keep it themselves, they make it like viral on social media.
I've seen people that did something they thought was justified in 8th grade and haven't be affected their senior year of high school.
I think everybody at some point has been shown that scare you out of sexting newspaper story where some girl sent nudes to her boyfriend and then her ex-best friend got her hands on it and sent it to the whole school.
When a nude gets leaked, it's like your family gonna see it. Different people you don't even know is screenshotting you. The picture that you sent to this one person is never gonna go away. It's never, what I'm saying? You just stuck with it.
I think it's sad and weird at the same time. They're feeling pressure from not one singular person that they can say no to. They would have to say no to all of society.
You spend a lot of time receiving all these images of what you should look like. And so sometimes I feel like it comes from a place of wanting to show off. Not your body necessarily, but the fact that you're comfortable or confident enough to do it.
For a guy, they might think it's cool or you got her to send the picture, but for her, it's like, okay, my whole body is all over the internet now. Everybody's seeing me.
There definitely is a double standard when it comes to the situation of sexting between boys and girls. The guys are put on a pedestal in situations like this, but the girls are demonized for it.
Getting busted for sexting is more embarrassing for girls than guys.
It's so easy as a female to get your reputation thrown away because of one simple mistake that you didn't even think was a mistake.
No, it's not fair, but they hold girls to a different standard than guys. That's just the world we live in.
Sexting, it shouldn't be, it's an embarrassing topic, but it should not be embarrassing to talk about because people need to know what it is and what to do to not do it.
When you are interested in someone or when you like someone or when you want someone to like you and you feel that sending pictures of yourself is the best way to do that, maybe it's time to reevaluate why you really care so much about this person.
When you're in middle school or when you're younger, you're going to feel these emotions that you're not going to feel in a year or 2 years.
That's what leads to people sending nudes when someone else trusts another person. So they will send the picture to them. The trust breaks after their picture gets leaked.
I think people think that the relationships that they're in have a lot of trust and that the relationships are going to last forever. But then when the relationship falls apart, which it usually does, is that those pictures get sent around to everyone. And I've heard countless stories of that happening.
I think the biggest consequence is like you lose some sort of trust with the person you were sending it to. And I think that that's really sad.
Sexting, child pornography. You guys also probably know this as sending nudes. So in case you don't know what that means, this is anytime you share nude pictures, so whether you're semi-nude, fully nude, or if you're sexually explicit in a photo. So sending pictures in your undergarments, that can be considered sexually explicit. Taking sexualized photos, sexually explicit as well. So this is against the law when you're under the age of 18, when you are still considered a minor. So let me break it down for you. If you receive a picture of somebody who is under the age of 18 years old, and they send you a nude picture, whether it's fully nude, semi-nude, sexually explicit, they send you this picture, and you have it on your phone, you are legally in the possession of child pornography. If you then take that picture and you share it with people, you are distributing child pornography. This happens all the time, and it breaks the law. And we want you guys to understand that when we send these pictures to somebody, for whatever reason, there's this chance of it being shared with other people. There's this chance that it ends up on the internet. So we want you guys to really understand the impact of sending a picture. So if you send a picture to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and you are semi-nude, fully nude, sexually explicit, you send it to them for whatever reason, you are actually distributing child pornography. But the other part of this is, once you send that picture, you have no control over it. You have zero say in what happens to that picture once it has left your phone. So now that you sent it to somebody, to your boyfriend, your girlfriend that you trust, they are able to do whatever they want with it. We all want to believe that if we made that choice, they're not going to do something with it. But the chances are they will. I have worked on so many of these cases where kids had made that mistake and they sent a picture and that person broke their trust and shared it with people. So know that if you send that picture and they share it with someone, that does break the law. If you go and talk to me or a police officer that you made a mistake, you sent a picture and that person's not sharing it with people, we want to help you. We don't want you to be in trouble. We want to help you get that picture back. Because as that picture is being shared, they're not only sharing it with whoever cell phone they want to, but that picture is being shared to different students in different schools, different districts, different states, and that picture has a chance to end up on the internet. If a picture ends up on the internet, there's not much law enforcement can do. Because in order to get that picture taken down, they actually have to go and have a warrant written for that website. The website then has to take it down. But while that's all being processed, that picture's up there. It's being seen. It's being screenshot. And now people can share it somewhere else. So that's why it's important. If you know someone this has happened to, you have taken these pictures, that you let somebody know so that we can stop that picture from being spread. We want it deleted from everyone's device. But also, the other part of this is being in possession of child pornography. If you got sent a picture for whatever reason, maybe you didn't even ask for that picture, but somebody sent it to you. If it's on your phone, no matter where it is saved to your phone, it's in a text message, it's in your photo vault disguised as a calculator, it's in your My Eyes Only of Snapchat. It doesn't matter where it is. It's on your phone. And if police have allegations of child pornography against you, one of the things they can do is take your phone and they're going to bring it back to the police station and they can do a dump on your phone. So what happens is they download everything off your phone. And if that picture is anywhere, even if it's in an app, it will be downloaded and they will be able to see it. They can take that picture and trace it and say, did you share it with anybody else? And if you shared, not only are you now in possession, but now you have distributed child pornography. So if you get these pictures, delete them. Report it to somebody that somebody has been sharing these pictures, because that person in that picture never consented to all of these people seeing it. They only ever said that that one person can see it, and that person violated their trust and shared it with a bunch of other people. Reach out. You guys are never alone. We are here to help you. So you see a picture, that is everyone from RCC that works there, minus our volunteers, and Lily as well. We're here to help you guys with anything that's going on, even questions. This presentation was done very differently than we normally do, so I'm not able to answer your questions right away. But if you have questions, I encourage you guys to reach out to me. Ask me them via email. Call that number and ask to talk to me. If you email me and you want to talk on the phone, we can always talk on the phone. I will help you guys. I will answer any of your questions. And like I said, it's completely confidential. So anything that you ask me, say to me, stays between us. But I want you guys to truly understand all of this stuff, because I don't want anyone to find themselves in trouble with law enforcement. Or if somebody is the victim of sexual assault, I want you to know that we're here for you, that we will help you through all of this, and that you don't have to go through this alone, that we have your back. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to this presentation and learning all of this stuff. And again, reach out to me if you have any questions about what we talked about, or if you even want more information, I would be happy to share it with you guys. Or if you need to share this information with someone you know, please feel free to do so as well. Thank you again, and I will see you guys again soon. Thanks.